one of the perils of working in or presenting in a foreign country is that sort of introduction. I have absolutely no idea what Philippe said. He could have insulted myself, my family, and my children for all I know. But anyway, it's a pleasure to be with you all here today. And thank you, Frank and Jerry, for setting me up very nicely. Hopefully not setting me up for a fall. I think one of the key takeaways that I would sort of, before I get into the meat of the presentation, was I think it is without a doubt that there are a number of challenges, which I think Frank particularly sort of highlighted today about how we approach the industry. But the good news for all of us in the room, whatever organization we represent, is that at least the conversation here is about growth. We're talking about an industry that is growing, and yes, audience consumption patterns are changing, yes, investment patterns are changing from advertisers and sponsors, but more and more money, more and more attention, more and more value is accreting to the sports industry. So I think that's a good position to be in. Before I joined Discovery Eurosport, 2 years ago, I worked for CNN for 12, 13 years. I ran the global sales organization there. The news industry is very challenged, and people are talking about, can the news industry survive? I actually think it will, and I think it will evolve. But the sort of conversations that we have there were very different to the conversations we're having today. And also the videos weren't as good. So when I've got video envy of Frank's sort of basketball video to start there. So I think we're in a good place. So let's all be positive and optimistic. So I just want to give you a brief overview today of the journey that Eurosport is on, and our ambition to turn ourselves under Discovery's ownerships. For those of you who don't know, Discovery bought Eurosport 3 years ago with the recognition that, which was a big shock to the industry, but I think a recognition of the fact that Discovery saw sport as being the content genre platform that was going to be the must-have content for the future. So we made a huge investment in Eurosport then, and now we're on a journey of hopefully turning one of Europe's most well-known sports brands into one of its most loved brands, and that's a very different perspective. And using, as we'll talk about briefly, the Olympics as the catalyst for that transformation. So just over 2 years ago, we announced that we bought the European media rights for the Olympics from 2018 onwards. So hugely exciting for us, and I think that we'll use that to transform the Eurosport brand, the Eurosport product, and the Eurosport audience. So without further ado, that's who I am. So you know that. Our strategy as a business. I mean, ultimately, it comes down to a very simple proposition. I think Frank said, is content still king? I'd certainly say the customer's still king. So, and they will tell us what they want to watch or don't watch. Certainly for us, the product is king, and for us, the product is the rights that we own, so the stuff that we broadcast on whatever platform, and then the way that we produce that content. So for us, the product is at the heart of what we do. Essentially, what Discovery's brought to the organization is investment. So we're able to invest in more rights, better content, more premium content, so that whether that be all 4 Grand Slams, whether that be all the cycling Grand Tours, whether that be Olympics, more local content, it's absolutely the case that we see that audiences increase in any market, the more that we can feature local sports stories, local talents. That's why we invested in Bundesliga in Germany, Tippeliga in Norway, and Wimbledon in the UK, in 34 markets across Europe now for Wimbledon, and more exclusive content. So essentially, the journey that we're on is an investment in better product. We have our own. One of the other things we're investing in is the brand itself. We absolutely recognize that Eurosport is a somewhat venerable institution. It's been around for 30 years now. It's not an awful long time, but in a world where Facebook, Snapchat, Google, etc. have joined the media fray relatively recently, we recognize the constant need to refresh our brand and to bring in younger audiences, so that the on-air look, feel, and branding of Eurosport has changed dramatically, as we'll see shortly. But at the heart of it, so we're trying to make it younger, more contemporary, more edgy, more millennial. But the heart of it is still great live sports content. That's what we do. Cue video.
This summer, ready? We've got the blockbusters. We've got the action. We've got the love. The screams. We've got the fear. The comebacks. The vertigo. The stars. The heat. And we've also got the blast and the rush. Go cycling Italian style. Rise with the gladiators of the red clay. Drive on the lost highway of Le Mans. Ride the festive French roads. Dive into the abyss. Find glory with the gods of the arena. Track down a fistful of riders. Fear the ruthless grand slams and the road warriors. Starring the man of speed, Mr. Lamar, the commissioner, the Iron Man, the Little Mermaid, the Saganator, the artist, Wonder Woman, and the Hit Girl. Get ready, Eurosport is everywhere. Feel your soul.
I think the San Francisco 49ers are up next, and this is our nod to US culture. It's a bit of a Hollywood flavor just to tee things up for you there. But I hope you agree there's a very different look and feel to the Eurosport that you might be more familiar with. I mentioned earlier our acquisition of the European media rights for the Olympics, which is the whole organization is extraordinarily excited by. We absolutely recognize the power of the Olympic rings, the power of the brand, and what that will bring to our organization, and really sort of sets a signal to the market of the level of ambition that Eurosport now has. As I said, we're the rights holder from 2018 onwards, so covering Pyeongchang, Tokyo, Beijing, and then, well, we shall see Paris or LA. Watch this space, I suppose. Our promise to the IOC was that we would bring the Olympics to more screens, to more people on more screens than ever before, and that's a promise that we will absolutely fulfill. We will be on every market in Europe, so 49 different markets, on every screen, every platform, every minute of every event from every venue will be available on a Eurosport screen. It's a promise that no one's ever been able to deliver before, and we're hugely excited to be able to take that to market. And obviously what we'll be doing with that is not just exposing the Olympics to more people, but doing it in a very different way. So yes, at the heart of our coverage will be the live events. And I say every minute of every event from every venue will be on a Eurosport platform. But it's also using the technology behind that. So how do we integrate technology? How do we integrate VR, AR, 4K? How do we integrate data onto screen? How do we work with our advertising and sponsorship partners to do that? And we'll show some examples of that later. But also telling the human story. So one of the things that the broader Discovery platforms can bring, that be Discovery Channel, TLC, the other networks that we have, can start to tell the stories of the athletes, the people behind the athlete's story, the build-up to the games. So again, that's something very different. We want to talk about something, or we'll be talking about many things beyond just the sporting action. Also trying to take people right to the heart of the action. What will it feel like to actually be in Pyeongchang, to be in Korea throughout time, giving people a flavor of what the Korean culture stands for. And I think we've only just started this journey. Certainly looking forward to Tokyo 2020, when VR and AR becomes even more widely distributed, working with partners like Facebook, like Google. I think there's a number of exciting things that we're able to do there. So a very fully fledged, many-faceted approach to covering the Olympic Games, but at the heart of it still, great live action and the human drama of sport. We absolutely recognize that consumption patterns are changing. We are way more now than just a linear TV broadcaster. Eurosport is available on all screens, and so we'll just show some of the ways in which we're exploiting different distribution technologies now. So you saw there, obviously our OTT, the offering Eurosport players is a huge part of our future objectives, going direct to consumer, make a lot of investments in that area. All our rights conversations now typically will involve discussions around OTT rights. That investment has led to a 50% increase in subscriptions to our Eurosport player product. So it's a real growth engine for us. Also thinking about investment in innovation in different formats. So as I say, we're way more than just a linear broadcaster now. We're a producer of great sports video content that's distributed on any platform. How can we produce content that really works in the social media, that's eminently viral, shareable, really gets the younger audiences engaged? We'll have a short example of that now.
Spitz and Michael Gross basically side by side. That's insane.
It's wild.
I love those time machine clips there. I'm always surprised at actually how close Jesse Owens gets to Usain Bolt. It's remarkable. You know, he's digging his feet into sand and sort of, you know, the shoes that he was wearing. Actually, he does an amazing job. So obviously an amazing athlete. But you can see the type of content that we're now producing. So perfectly adapted for social media, for sharing, generating younger audiences. So and that's how we now. Or try to innovate when we're talking to our advertisers and sponsorship partners. We don't sell TV spots now, we sell experiences. We sell a multifaceted, whether that be obviously advertising, sponsorship, access to talent, branded content production, digital, social media, events. It's a full 360 experience that we can now make available. Data integration, how do we integrate our partners on screen? And again, rather than a video paints 1,000 words, should we say, so rather than go through all the list there, I'll just show you some examples now of the type of work that we're doing with our commercial partners. Video, please. Oh, no. There's one more video. No more video. We're a video short. Fear not. So. But don't worry, we're probably running over time anyway. So there was a great video. But the way we talk about ourselves now is, as I say, we are a sports entertainment company. That's how we think about Eurosport. And the combination of Eurosport and Discovery brings sport, the most watched, the most highly rated, the most highly invested content genre, with the human drama, the emotion of the Discovery networks. And we believe that makes a unique combination in the marketplace. And it's particularly relevant now when we start to think about how sports are moving forward, and even more so with the Olympics. So that's us, the home of the Olympics from 2018 onwards. Thank you very much.